Families have begun to ration their formula as the national shortage of baby formula has begun to worsen. Now, the formula crisis, whatever you want to call it, has been going on for a while. It's been going on since last year. And the government isn't really doing a whole lot to, slow this down or alleviate some of the problems that families are having to go through because of this. We have this from CNN. They're talking about two different children here, this 12-year-old and an 11-year-old who need formula to survive due to diseases that they have. And they're struggling to get the formula that they need. The little girl, because the plant shut down that she used to get her formula from, that she can no longer get it from there because it shut down. And then because of the plant shutting down, the people that used to get formula from there are now going to the plant that this little boy gets his formula from. And now he's having a hard time getting his supply of formula. And the government's not really doing a whole lot. They apparently passed some sort of bill that was meant to alleviate the problem, but I'm gonna go into it. They didn't really do anything, and it's really frustrating, and it's just sad that the government won't help us here. But before I get into it today, if you like what I do here, if you like hearing the stories that I talk about, please subscribe on YouTube to Tyler Today. If you're on Rumble, please subscribe to me on Rumble, Tyler Today. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can talk to me on Twitter. I'm Tyler Today YT on Twitter, and that's it from me. Now let's get into the story here. So the House apparently passed a $28 million emergency funding to address the baby formula shortage. Now, I was trying to go into what the funding actually does to help alleviate the problems here. And 28 million, when you think about it, is not a lot coming from the government. Considering it's a baby formula shortage, you would think they'd be doing more than this. It doesn't seem like a whole lot. And when you go into it, it seems like the only thing that they're doing is that they're giving it to the FDA, the Drug Administration, so that they can have more inspectors and stuff like that. So basically, they can get more regulators and stuff like that to process formula quicker. I don't even know what the goal here is. And then it goes on to say that they're going to be lifting some restrictions on foreign imports of formula, which I don't know why we had those restrictions anyway, especially if the formula is safe to use. But I digress. So apparently the United States ordinarily produces 98% of its own formula, and then we get the rest from Mexico, Ireland, and the Netherlands. So I guess we'll have to hit them up and be getting more from them or something like that, because right now we're struggling. If we go back over to, where is it? The baby formula supply problem. This is from CNN, May 11th. They say here that all the way back in, the out-of-stock rate for baby formula hovered between 2 and 8% in the first half of 2021. So that's the first half of 2021. We're in 2022. But it began rising sharply last July between November 2021 and early April 2022. The out-of-stock rate jumped to 31%, and I've seen other articles say 40%, 45%. Who knows what it's at now? It's, May 20th now, and it's just getting worse. The government has had plenty of time to slow this down, to help us here. Maybe it's related to the pandemic, because it's saying, from last year, and that we were still dealing with lockdowns and stuff back then. But what is the government doing? What is the government doing to alleviate this? The only thing they did was pass this $28 million emergency funding, and it just says that it's to address the formula shortage, but what is it doing to actually address it? It's not doing anything. It's just giving money to the FDA and saying, "Here, deal with it real quick." But, I'll tell you what else they're doing. They're sending $40 billion with a B into Ukraine, and they don't have to pay a single cent of that back. But we have mothers and fathers struggling to get formula to their 11 and 12-year-olds, not just their 11 and 12-year-olds, but to their infant babies. And the government's sending billions of dollars to a foreign country that we aren't allied with, that is not a part of NATO, and they're in a war that we don't don't and shouldn't be a part of. As shitty as Russia is for doing what they're doing, we are not a part of that, and we shouldn't be sending $40 billion to their country to help them. I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous to me. We send $40 billion to a foreign country. We only spend $3 million a year on cancer research. We spend $28 million on a low short what do you call it? We're in short supply of baby formula, and they only, they throw 28 million at it, but they throw 40 billion into a foreign country. Insane, absolutely insane. But these people aren't the kind of people that are working in grocery stores like me, and I'm sitting there stocking the baby food and all the baby aisle stuff, and they're not the ones that have to sit there and tell the parents, oh, I'm sorry, that's all, what's on the shelf is what's there. I'm sorry, we don't have more. I live in California, and we're seeing this stuff too. So I'm hearing stories from parents in person. I've heard from multiple parents saying that they're having to go to multiple stores just to be told the same thing, that there isn't formula, and then their babies only eat or drink or whatever it is certain formulas, and it's really shitty when I have to be the one to tell them, I'm sorry, you got to look somewhere else. But the government doesn't have to do that. They don't give a shit. That's why they send 40 billion to Ukraine, and they spend only 28 million in the wrong direction for helping the shortage. But that's our government. They're inefficient. They suck at what they do, and the only time they do anything right is by accident, and when we scrutinize them heavily before. And that's why I keep pointing these things out. I don't know what the answer is to fix this shortage, but I definitely know that it's not spending $28 million on regulators and inspectors for the FDA, and I know that $40 billion into a foreign country isn't helping this either. But I don't know what else to say here. I can't really add a whole lot here. I don't know a whole lot about baby formula other than this shortage has been going on for, it's been progressing for well over a year now. And the government has had plenty of time to deal with this, especially the FDA or whoever's in charge of this. They've had plenty of time to react to this, and I'm pretty sure it's their job to be keeping track of this, and it's their fault that it's gotten this far. It's gotten this out of hand. We should not be approaching that 40%, 50% mark for out of stock in stores, which I don't even know if that's accurate. I mean, this is coming from CNN. I don't typically trust them. So who knows how accurate it is. This is from May 11th. It could be higher now, because in my stores, I would say it's at least, my store, I would say we're at least 80% out of stock. But that's just me personally, where I work. I haven't been to other stores. I don't have children. I'm not looking for baby formula, so I'm not as concerned about this as maybe, an actual parent is, obviously. But I'm going to leave it there. If I left something out on the story, please leave a comment below. What do you think we could do differently to help this supply problem? Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you think, if you know a way or think you know a way on how to fix this, because I certainly don't. And like I said, the government ain't helping. But I'm gonna leave it there. If you like what I do, please subscribe on YouTube, share the video, get this out there, let everyone know that the government sucks and they're bad at what they do. Follow me on Twitter and follow me on Rumble. Thank you. Peace out. While finishing up the video, I found this. The FDA announces plans to ease the shortage of baby formula. Now, they basically just talk about how they're going to ease restrictions, which I already spoke on. They also talk about how they're going to be reopening a plant. They came to an agreement with Abbott, and I believe that's Texas. I don't know how one plant is going to affect the supply shortage. I don't know if we need to open more than that. I don't know how many... I don't know how much this plant is going to be supplying here. They just talk about how they're going to be removing restrictions that I don't think they should have had anyway on imports. Let's see. The Justice Department filed a complaint against Abbott. Oh, no, that's not it. It says it in here. I'll link this in the I'll link this in the description below so you can go and read this here. I just don't know how much it's really going to help. I don't think it's going to help all that much. I already showed what the government is doing. They, gave money to the FDA to, I guess, put this on the fast track to hurry up and get this done, to hurry up and come to an agreement with Abbott. But I don't know how much this is going to help supply lines. And, there's a lot of places that are running out of diesel fuel right now. So, even if supplies do open up, are the supplies going to get to the stores? Are truckers going to be able to get it to the stores? And, that's just, there's a whole lot of problems that go into this. And I don't think the government's doing enough. It says we won't rest until the formula market gets back to normal. Well, right now it's at like 50% away from normal. So I don't know what to tell you there, because the government's, I don't think this plant made up for 50% of the production of baby formula. So where's this shortage coming from? I don't think the government's being completely transparent, or maybe they don't even know. Maybe they don't even fully know what it is, or they do and they just don't want to come out and say it. But I also wanted to add here that there are people trying to ration their baby formula, and that's horrible. They're having to give or take less than half of what they normally use per day, and they're just running low on supplies, and they're coming into stores and the shelves look like this. So the government really needs to step up and act quicker than they are. This was from 4 days ago, but I mean, how much is one plant in Texas going to help this national shortage? Because I'm in California. Is the plant in Texas going to help here in California? I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't know. And then we have other people. I've seen tons of articles. I didn't really want to bring them up because I didn't think it was as relevant. I would hope that people know better. But there's apparently people trying to make their own formula, which I have no idea about that. The only thing I know is that you should not do that. Obviously, you should go get your formula from the store. They have a lot of different ingredients that your babies need, and you making yours at home is not going to be nearly as good, or maybe not even safe. So don't do that. Don't make homemade ones. You don't know how to do that. don't do that, please. But yeah, I just wanted to add this in here towards the end. FDA doesn't really seem like they're doing a whole lot. The government gave them $28 million for inspectors and regulators, and they opened one plant back up. Congratulations, government. You guys are just so amazing. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and have a good day. Peace out.